How's things? Oh man, hope you guys are all doing well. All right, so I need some labels and I have some papers that I want to stamp on and make into labels. And I thought this would be an awesome opportunity to pull out all my label stamps and sort of play with those and look at some of the things that they've done, making some changes in response to feedback that they've received from purchasers and also from me on the stamps. And um, so they sent me some, and I wanted to do that on video just to see if what they did actually makes a difference, and I think it will. So one of the things that has been an issue is the touchdown in the center of the stamps. And you know, they talked about different options of how to solve that. One of those options was to actually cut out this center section of the rubber and and then mount it without that center piece. But that makes them really unstable, and it can make them also to where when you're stamping, they don't stay, straight and stuff. So that interior rubber part is necessary for the stability and that kind of thing. So what they did was they actually ran the whole thing through I think it's a laser that cuts these. And they did that twice, and they cut it deeper the second time. So there's a little bit more of a gap between the surface and this interior part of the stamp. So we're just going to try them and see, and hopefully that makes a big difference. And I think they made some changes to the foam too, and they started using a foam that will actually stick temporarily to an acrylic block. So if you like the rubber stamps, or if you already have the rubber stamps, I think you can get this foam now that has this like plasticky backing on it. And so you can use those with your acrylic blocks. Okay. So I'll check on that and see if they sell just that rubber foam or that foam. I'm pretty sure they do. So actually the best thing to do is to, contact them and see, or just look on their Etsy shop. And I'll put a link in the description to Signet Stamps. So yeah, so then there's these where this has like a sticker on the back. So this could actually get mounted onto, and I think that's how they mount them onto the wood blocks with this adhesive. So those are cool. So these are the new ones, and we'll try those out. And they actually sent me a whole set of those. And I believe they replaced the long skinny stamp. This is the one that came in the set originally, and then they replaced it with this one. So you still get this shorter skinny one, but then you get one that's a little wider and slightly longer. Okay. So I think that works out really well for certain situations where you want to, maybe stamp around some text or something, or word or whatever. Anyway, it's a nice size. So these are the newer stamps that have been cut twice also. Okay. So we'll look at those. They're the same as these. They sent me these to test, and then these to kind of do as an unboxing type of thing. But I think we're just going to do it like this. It works out easier. And then they also have made some clear stamps, and that has been the other concern that people have had, as far as well, I don't know if it has to do with the cost or anything, but I think mostly what people wanted to have a clear stamp for was for placement, so that when they're stamping, say, around an image on a page, it's easier to line up something that's clear that you can see through, to make sure that you get that image, especially if it's something like this where it's an old book page and you can't just like print off another copy, right? You want to make sure that you get it right the first time. So the clear stamps are great for that. If you are somebody who just wants to stamp just randomly, or you just want to make, labels that are just like, without text or anything in them, then, the mounted ones I think are perfect for that. So, but if you really need to be able to line them up, or you want that option to be able to do that, I think that these clear stamps are great. So they've used a really high quality, I think it's a polymer that these are made out of, and it's great. It's really great. And the backing that's on it, well, it's just part of it, I guess. It's nice and tacky, so it really sticks onto your acrylic blocks really nicely. And they always send the plastic backing and then another sheet of this like thicker acetate, so you can store your stamps, in between those, and they'll retain that tackiness. As far as cleaning them, I would say I've always been able to wash my clear stamps with just soap and water, and when I do that, let them dry, then that tackiness usually comes back. So like, say they get dusty, and or if you're not treating them super nice and you just toss them in a box or whatever, sometimes they'll get dirty and they're not as sticky. So anyway, so we'll try these two, and we'll just kind of look at how those work. And I think you'll be happy with these if you've been looking for clear stamps for the labels. So yeah, so I thought I would just do some stamps first, just maybe a couple of things that I've been wanting to do. And I pulled out a bunch of dictionary pages where there was things on them that I wanted to be able to have in a label. So we'll just try doing some stuff on here, like rosemary and rose, and just there's just little things that I've wanted. So I'm gonna use the clear stamps first. I'm just gonna kind of gauge to see if that's the right size, and I actually think I'm gonna go to the larger one, because I do want like the whole definition and the image. Okay, so yeah, I think this one will work. Let's find a block and get that lined up on there nice and straight. And I think I'm just going to stamp this with black. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I got this carousel, actually both of these carousels, in Happy Mail as gifts from a couple of viewers, 2 different viewers. And originally this one, this cast iron one, Sherry sent this to me, and just recently, so that's why I remember who sent it. The other one, I can't remember who it was, and I'm sorry, but I just can't remember at the moment. But this one, I was kind of disappointed that I wouldn't be able to put my label stamps on it, because the openings are kind of small, kind of narrow. But I had all of my post office stamps were on that one, and so then I was like, oh, I just switched them, and so now the postal stamps fit really nicely in there, and I'm actually able to put more of them on here. And then since these are kind of adjustable, like these are, this is a Ranger product, then my label stamps can fit on there, because these handles are a lot thicker than these. So anyway, just saying. Okay, so let's try this out. And one thing I like about the clear stamps is that you can see the ink. Like, you can tell how well you have it inked, and then, like I said, it's not perfectly clear, but it's clear enough that you can see you can see it. Okay. So look, isn't that nice? These stamp so nicely. These clear, the clear ones. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I don't know. Maybe it's the inking that, because you can see the ink better or something. I don't know. So let's try. Let's do a little small one of, I want to try to get rose water. Right here it says rose water. Let's see if I can line that one up. Oops. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see through it all the way, but I can definitely get a better idea of where it's going to line up on the page than with the handles, the wood mounted ones. So yeah, so I kind of stamped a little bit too high on there, but I just feel like it's, it's not a huge deal to me. So and then let's try to get, whoops, I need a little bit wider one. Let me use this one and do rosemary. And also, I can't put my head right over it because I'll put my head underneath the camera, and so that's causing an issue with the angle too. But let's see. Yeah, there we go. So instead of pressing really hard, I think it's best to just lay it down and kind of let it set for a minute, and then lift it. Instead of trying to push hard to get the ink to sink into the paper, just kind of let it set for a second, and I think that works better. Okay, so those are good. And what I might do is actually glue this onto a more stable piece of paper before I cut them out, just so I don't accidentally, tear them, because this dictionary paper is kind of fragile. So let's see. So I just went through some dictionaries that I had before I got rid of them, and I mean, I have a lot. I get a lot of dictionaries, so I really want to do that section of a pair too, but I'm going to try to get, I think I want to get sedum, the word sedum. There we go. Oh, and I got some of the image too. And then I'd like to get secure, or maybe C. C is the next word down from sedum, and it's a little close. Oh, wait, let's do seed. I think seed is even better. Hold on. Let's see if I have another block. Don't really want to take that one off the block yet. Hold the phone. Okay, I'm going to do seed, and I've actually accidentally kind of tore it off on the edge here, but that's okay. I don't really need all of it. There, perfect. Okay, and then what was the other one I wanted to do? Can't remember. I'll just do section, and I'll try to get that image of the pear in there too. Yeah, see, I kind of cut off the S on section, but I did get that image there, so that's cool. So yeah. Gosh, I love how nice and dark that's stamping. So then I have a bunch of, these are just like strips from ledger pages that I cut off, and I saved them because I knew these would be great for labels. And so let's find the skinnier one. It's got this little skinny guy. And since these are kind of soft, you do want to just be careful how you lay it on there, because you could actually distort it, or, you know, which actually could be a good thing. Like if you want your label to be sort of rounded, you could totally do that. Just kind of bend it a little bit, you know. Anyway, I don't want it to be bent right now. So I want to just do some of these numbers. And I can see through it well enough to get a good alignment around those numbers. So see it? And I have a whole bunch of these, so I will do a ton of them. I actually wanted to do some of the smaller ones. Let me do some red. This is Stays On Blazing Red. And you'll notice I didn't have any touchdown at all with those clear stamps. So that's awesome. Yeah, this is a little bit too wide. Let's try this one. This one's a little bit. Yeah. And also with the clear stamps, you could totally see if you were going to get some touchdown in the center, you know. And then, you know, you could even just wipe it off before you stamp it so that you don't have that kind of accident, you know. So those are awesome. I love those. Hold on. I want to do some numbers on the back of this that I just want to grab. Cool. So that's what I do, is I just stamp a whole bunch of stuff, and then later on I'll just have a fussy cutting session and cut them all out. So I'm going to put these back on the backing. They stick so nicely on here. I think it would be a good idea to, you know, when you have these laid out on here, to maybe take a Sharpie and kind of go around and trace around the outside of these, just so you know where they go back on, you know, so you can always put them back in the right spot. Okay, so I'm going to say the clear stamps are an A+. I'm happy with them. I think they're perfect the way they are, and I didn't get any touchdown in the center of them. I had used them before, and when you can see that I have a little bit of ink in the center, I was using a different ink pad for one thing that was more like a foam. So that was causing ink to actually, you know, get onto the center of the stamp. It was foam. So, you know, it's more squishy. But I've never had the touchdown issue with the clear stamps. So just saying. Okay. And then I'm really curious to try these. These are the more deep cut. Actually, I don't want to use these because these have that adhesive on them. I'm going to use this set because these have the foam backing where I can use them with my acrylic blocks. Okay, so let's see how well it works on the acrylic block. And it, you know what, it feels like it's sticking on there just nicely. Not quite as adhesive as the clear stamp is, but I mean, it's good enough for stamping, you know. So let's see. I wanted to do, whoops. Oh my God, I just had a whole bunch of stuff fall on the floor. Okay, I need a sip of coffee. And they are selling the clear stamps individually too. So if you only want a couple sizes or something like that, or, you know, if you want to eventually get all of them, you can buy them individually. They do give you a price break on the set. So if you just buy the whole set all at once, you do get a price break. So I thought it would be interesting to compare. Let's do that. Let's compare. This is the older set that's not deep cut, and this is the deep cut one. Okay, is that the same size? No, it's not. This is the same size. So let's just try it on just a plain old piece of paper. Should we try it on this board? I want it to be fair, you know. Okay, so let's just see what happens. I did pick up a little bit of ink in the center whilst inking it, right? So let's see if that transfers, and I'm just going to push it down gently and hold. I did get a very small amount of this ink touched down in the center of that, but this is the old one. Okay, so let's try the newer one, the deep cut one, and see how they do. See how it does. Okay. And I asked them if they had tested this at all, and they were both like, no, I thought you were doing that. So look at the deep cut one. I didn't get any ink pickup in the center, which is nice. So let's try. So I'm just going to push it down, let it set for a second, and pick up. Nice. Nice, nice. This board has a little bit of texture to it, so that's why it's kind of stamping like that. It's not the stamp at all. It's the paper. So let's try it again on something that doesn't have that texture. Oh my gosh, my washing machine is making all kinds of crazy sounds. Okay. So this is the old style. Did get some touch down in the center. Let's see if it transfers to the paper. I did get a little bit of transfer there. Just a little, see it? So let's try this one. This is the new deep cut one. Let's try it in the same general vicinity. I'm really not pushing very hard at all. It kind of looks like I am, but I'm not. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So I think that actually worked pretty well as far as the touchdown in the center. And this is the largest one. So this is the one that had the most issue with the with that touchdown in the center. you know, because it's such a wide space. I had quite a bit of problem with it with this particular one. Let's see how that one is solved. Hold the phone. Let's see. Okay, so this is the old one. Trying to see if it's picking up ink. It is picking up ink off the pad. I did get some touch down there. So then let's try the newer deep cut stamp. Pretty sure this is the deep cut. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to keep these separate or something. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I think this is the deep cut one. No ink in the center. Pretty much inked it exactly the same way. There we go. I really think that that made a huge difference. So yeah. So good job, you guys. Good job. I think that was the ticket. That worked pretty well. I didn't get any touchdown with either of the deep cut stamps, whereas I did with the older ones. So yeah, good decision. All right, now I can just keep making labels, you know. I wanted to do, so I'm going to just continue stamping on this paper and just do like different colors and different sizes and that kind of stuff, and just make myself a bunch of labels on this paper to cut out later. But before I do that, I want to just sort of play with some different types of, you know, ideas for labels, for papers for labels. I'm going to put these aside so I don't accidentally use them. I'll just keep using, I don't know, I really like the clear stamps. I think I'm just going to use the clear stamps for this. Pretty sure you could clean these better than what I'm doing if you use like some rubbing alcohol. I think that would work pretty well. Okay, let me put these back in between these little boards. These would be nice to store in like a, you know how when you buy like colored pencils, you get those flat metal boxes? It'd be nice to store these in one of those. Okay, so we'll just use the clear stamps and I'll just do some more labels. More labels. Okay, so I want to do marigold. I definitely want the word marigold. Actually, I think it would be cool to have both of those. What do I want? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to do those two. Okay, I'm going to do it in black. Oh, and I want to do this on a single sheet of paper, not in the book, or not with a stack of papers, because that makes it too soft. It makes it almost like you're stamping on foam, and you don't really want to do that with these. Yeah, I see I messed that part up. I knew that was going to happen, but it's okay. I'm going to do that one. And this is really textured, like newsprint paper. So it doesn't stamp as black as, actually that one does look pretty good. I must not have had enough ink on this one. And it kind of picked up some of the paper pulp too. Anyway, so marigold, and then marigolds are yellow or orange color. So you can sort of, you know, tell if you're going to be able to fit that in there. I should stamp this in yellow. Okay. Again, I'm not able to put my head over the page, so, but there we go. So cute. And then let's see if I can just get that yellow or get that marigold, and maybe I can actually color it yellow. With a Sharpie or something. Could do market. I'm going to try doing some of these with red. Some residual black. So some look, it's black for a little bit until it sort of wears off. But nice. And then I still do have this long skinny one, and so I'm going to just use it. Even though I think they've replaced this now in the set. Pretty sure if you want that long skinny one, I'm sure that they would be happy to make it for you. I want we go to the market. Perfect. And again, this paper is so brittle that I feel like I want to definitely back it onto something before I go cutting it up. And then I've got all of these papers that are textures that I printed off from, what is it? What's it called? Tossed and Found or something. No, it's not Tossed and Found. I can't remember. The name of the website. But anyways, it's just it's a website that I'll leave in the description where they just have all of these free, or actually they ask for a donation, all these different textures, so you can print them off. And I think I donated like $1 for each one. My son told me that he usually donates 50 cents or a quarter. And then you add them to your cart with your donation, and then you can pay with PayPal or whatever. And if you can't pay anything, then you just can't pay anything, but you can still get them. It's just they ask for a donation. So, and I think that's a nice thing to do. So I'm going to stamp some in red. Oh man, I love these clear stamps. I just think they're awesome. They stamp really nicely too. Yeah, super cool. So let's do some of these longer, skinnier ones. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to do. I will probably do some others. So I pulled these guys out because I wanted to, so these are just stamps that were at a post office. And I thought it would be cool to just make them into labels, you know? And so I'll stamp it and then stamp around it. And then I can make that a label and just cut that out. Some of them are kind of funny. Oh, well, these ones are neat. I like the paid. This should have been, I should have stamped this in red. I'll do that and then I'll stamp around it in red. see. See, I'm getting black on my ink pad. I overlapped a little bit. It's because I can't put my head over it. You know, if you can put your head over it and actually line it up right underneath you, I think it's a lot easier. But to eliminate that problem, what I'm going to do is stamp the label shape first. And then let's do this. Will trade. We'll do that in this one. Yeah. Anyway, so just all kinds of different things that you can do to make labels. I have a really nice blue, this Danube blue, and I haven't been able to find this in a larger ink pad. I've only been able to find it in one of these teardrops. So if anybody knows where I can buy that as a full-size ink pad, I would love to know. Or even just the re-inker, the Danube blue. It's a really, really pretty color. See, I accidentally did it too hard and on the edge of the stamp pad and got some of the blue in the center. But if anybody knows where I can get that, I would love to know. I've searched on Amazon. I can't find it on Amazon. I think I did actually find the re-inker on there one time, and then when I was ready to actually buy it, it was gone. So, and this green actually is pretty nice too. This cottage ivy green. It works pretty well. It's really pretty. Let's do this one. And then of course there's a little teeny tiny one that is like probably my favorite. The little teeny tiny stamp. It's great if you want to just stamp around like a single number or a single letter or something. Yeah, I love this green. And again, I wish I could find it in a larger ink pad, like a full-size one. The Memento Ladybug Red is nice also. I kind of like it. I kind of like the Blazing Red better. The Stays On Blazing Red, I like it better because it's more of a fuchsia type red. It's more of a red. Some of the reds that you find are more orangey, and I don't really like that. But this Ladybug Red is nice too. It's more of a red. But let me just show you guys really quickly with this little teeny guy. It's really fun to use if you just want some little tiny guys, some little like isolated numbers. My hands are a mess. So like on a piece of ledger paper, let me find one that has a lot of numbers. Okay, like this one. This one has a bunch of like really small numbers written on it. So this one's kind of fun. And then just stamp these little, the clear stamps are kind of soft, so you really don't want to press real hard. Otherwise you can distort the that inside line that's cut into the stamps, you know. I love this. So I just stamp around all these little numbers. Seems to work okay even if I stamp a couple. It's definitely lighter though. Let me do some in red. Let's use the ladybug red. I could probably clean that off with an alcohol pad. It'll wear off on its own though. See, the ladybug red is not as red. It's not as, I don't know what it is. It's a different kind of ink maybe. It's still a dye ink, a dye-based ink, but for some reason, I like this one better. See, it's just a different kind of red. I like the blazing red better. It's more red. This one's a little orangey, I think now. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing. I've got all those little number stencils, and I pulled out all of my letters too. So I've got a bunch of these brass letter stencils. So I think I'm going to play around with those and the numbers. And then also, I haven't used these for a while, but I've got these little stamps. These, I need to use a piece of foam with them though. What are you doing, Jimmy? Jimmy said hi, you guys. Oh my gosh, I can't find my foam. But anyways, so these are super old stamps, and the rubber on them is really hard, and I have treated them with, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it's called. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I keep wanting to say glucose, but I know it's not glucose. So I found my foam. If I put it on a little bit of foam, it has a tendency to stamp better. Yeah. But again, they're really old, and they've been sitting in this wooden case for probably 100 years. So they don't work perfect, but that's okay. I don't mind that. I actually like it. You know, I like the way it looks. They kind of look distressed. You know, and then the other thing that I've done with these too is I just go around the just take like a black ink pen and sort of just kind of highlight little pieces, little parts of it to make it stand out a little better. See, like that. I like doing that. It's kind of fun. It's kind of doodle on them a little bit. And that kind of helps it out a little bit. So anyway, I guess that's pretty much all I can show you guys at the moment. I'm just going to keep stamping until I get a big stack of stuff that I can cut out, and then me and Jimmy will retire to the bedroom, and I will proceed to fussy cut 1,000 labels. Okay, guys. You totally could, I thought what might be nice for these is to actually glue this, you know, cut out this section and glue it onto sticker paper and then cut them out, because then that way they'll be already a sticker, you know. and I might do that. I have a bunch of sticker paper, so just an idea. Yeah, and always forget, don't forget, always remember to look at the back. I always forget to look at the back when I'm doing this stuff. So like, I know for sure I want these, so I'll cut that out and then look at the back to see if there's anything on there that I want before I throw it away. See, like, I love this. I think this is cool. These boys are playing a game with marbles and marble. Look at those are just neat little elements that you can make into a label and put them in your journals. And yeah, anyway. Okay, guys, glycerin. That's what it's called, glycerin. So I probably need to soak those in glycerin a couple more times. So anyway, link in the description to Signet Stamps. You can buy these individually, the clear stamps or the rubber with the foam backing, or the wood mounted ones. To be very honest, I really like the wood mounted ones, but they do take a little bit of practice as far as alignment. But I do like them. I think they're awesome, and they're just a really nice high quality stamp, especially for the cost. They're really, you know, reasonable. So anywho, okay guys, I love you. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye for now.